Ever since October the 7th, never mind, ever since time immemorial, Jews have been playing the victim. Now, it's nothing new to anyone who's kind of following what's happening in Palestine and the genocide and ethnic cleansing that is currently going on under the noses of the entire world. Alhamdulillah, there's a lot of us who are trying to do something about it. May Allah give them peace, give them freedom, and protect those people, those innocent children, women, and men who are being killed and genocided, and be with those who are defending their homeland and give them victory over the oppressing people. Ameen. Jews have this tendency to play the victim even when they're the bully, and that's what makes them unique. I remember back in high school, I used to have this guy who he would bully people, and after he would say he pushed someone in the hallway or touched a girl where he shouldn't have, he would immediately, after he did it, point to someone else and make them look like the perpetrator. He was the archetypal example of how the Jews are in a person. And the Jews collectively do this thing where they commit crimes, blame it on others, and then they play the victim. This is a psychotic disorder. This is something that a former Army Ranger has discussed many times on his social media.
So let's talk about Islamic militancy, or rather the myth of Islamic militancy used to justify the current incarnation of Western, American, and Israeli militancy. You kind of picking up what I'm putting down? A practical example of this would be the idea or the narrative being pushed that like children in Gaza are taught to hate Jews and praise Hamas, and Hamas is a terrorist organization. So because we have target sympathizer conflation going on because it's a genocide, and that's genocidal incitement speech, children are perforce terrorists as well. That's why you're getting crazy claims like this, like every baby in Gaza is an enemy because all Muslims, they might not be terrorists yet, but they're gonna be eventually.
Now, Moses himself, when he was sent to the children of Israel, had his share of problems. So even if a prophet of Allah could not take care of these people and get them in line for the most part, because there were those who did believe and followed the message of God and were righteous human beings. If he couldn't do it, then, well, what hope is there for us? Well, there is hope. And the hope is adhering and sticking to Islam no matter what. To present the message to these Jews, to these Israelis, to these oppressors, despite the crimes that they're committing. Why? Because, brothers and sisters, there is an underground organization of Jews in Israel who have converted to Islam. Islam is of the fitrah. It is of sound human consciousness. It fits with the moral character of every human being and what we desire. It is a religion away from the Creator for goodness. So despite the hardships that we go through when it comes to Jews, when it comes to them stealing the wealth of the entire world, to controlling all of the assets of the entire world, including the media, all of the things that they control, despite that, and using it for their own nefarious gains, Allah's in control. وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. They plan, the Jews, but Allah plans, and Allah is the greatest of planners. In this verse, it was revealed specifically about the Jews when they tried to do what? To kill Jesus, the son of Mary. But Allah planned, and He is the greatest of planners. And it goes back to say that Jesus was saved. He was not killed. As Muslims, we love Jesus. We don't hate Jews because they're Jews. We hate Jews who use their supremacy, thinking that they're better simply by birth, who use this to enact upon the world their genocides, their hate, their plans for domination at the expense of everybody else. Does Islam want to dominate? Absolutely. But as a Muslim, I don't want to dominate. I want to treat with justice. Why I want Islam to dominate is because Islam removes oppression from the earth and it replaces it with justice. When any other system is present and takes over in any society, you will find it rife with injustice. Recently, there was a video that has gone viral of a hero of mine and a hero of many people around the world. He is a Vietnamese man who would not let this Jewish family eat at his restaurant. Why didn't he let them eat at his restaurant? Was it because they were Jewish, it was not because they were Jewish. He didn't have a problem with Jews. He had a problem because this family is very vocal in public and online about their support of the racist, supremacist, apartheid, rogue state of Israel. And so because of these people's affiliation with such an extremist, ISIS-like state, he would not let them eat at his establishment. And I don't blame him. I wouldn't let people like that eat at my establishment. People who are in my own family who support Israel, because there has to be this notion of what's called wala and bara, love and disassociation. If you play on a football team, you're not going to throw a pass to the other football team. If you are part of a country and part of an army, the U.S. Army, are you going to go and help out the Russians just because, whatever? If you do, you'll be considered a traitor. You will be court-martialed, likely executed, depending on the severity of the crime. But yet, when Muslims talk about wala and bara, this is scary and bad, and we can't hate people for being part of these other ideologies because they want to harm us or kill us or genocide us. Somehow this is some extremist ideology, but in fact, it is the middle path ideology. If you do not have wala for the believers and bara, disassociation, a sort of hatred, not a full-on, I hate you and I'll do anything to hurt you hatred. No, it's a, I'm not going to deal with you. You can go live your life, but you're not going to come eat at my table. I'm not going to give you the same respect that I'm going to give other people who are kind, even other non-Muslims who are treating me fairly. Like my parents, I will treat them with kindness, with love, and with affection, right? Because Allah tells us in the Quran, do not be unjust, right? You're not called to be unjust to those who have not kicked you out of their homes, who have not tried to kill you or oppressed you in any single way, or called against your God or insulted your religion. So those people who do that, they're on one hand, and we have bara from them, like David Wood and these other nasty cringeophiles. When it comes to anyone else, we can treat them with adoration, but even still there are limits. This brother is a hero because he did something that so many people don't have the backbone to do. And I hope that when we're called and put to the test to either serve someone some food or to do something, even as little as boycotting brothers and sisters, please continue to boycott. It's helping. Support local businesses. Like here, cola. If you want to drink cola, there's local colas. Support the country you're living in, right? If you want coffee, dude, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, they're not even that good. Support local cafes that are cheaper, that are better, and quite frankly, you will feel more comfortable about it, and you'll even find barakah, blessings in your life. Yes, I said that. By not choosing, you will even find barakah in your life when you choose to boycott. There's no doubt that of a certainty, we will prevail. However, we never know when our individual time will come. What's going on in the Holy Land of Palestine could go on for 10 more years, 20 years. It could be an ongoing terrible situation for a long time to come. But what we really, really need to prepare for is the day that we meet Allah. And that could come at any time. So brothers and sisters, stand for the truth. Stand against injustice and evil and against these democracies that think that they are doing good when in reality the masks have come off and the whole world is seeing them for what they really are. Stand up for what is right, brothers and sisters. Let's return to the Quran and to the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Salam, y'all.